So the boxing scene is releasing some information, and I said over the last couple of months that I made a big deal about the Inoue thing. And if y'all know me by now, by the time something happens, I'm already past that. But I was telling people a couple of months ago that Inoue coming to featherweight was going to be a huge deal, and it was going to affect the state of boxing more than people realize. Because Inoue can actually take the sport of boxing to a whole nother level if he goes to featherweight right now. But if he waits 6 months, 9 months, it won't be the same as it would be right now. It wouldn't be as effective as far as a strategy. And it wouldn't do nothing for the sport right now. Because if he waits, if he doesn't do anything, it will do something for the sport. But if he waits, it won't do anything. And it looks like Rafael Espinoza right now will be actually moving away from featherweight as I expected after this rematch with Robeisy Ramirez. So he might leave that fight without even fighting any more people at featherweight. And this is a guy straight from Mexico who hasn't really been fighting a lot in the U.S. over the last couple of years. When people say, oh, well, we got prospects and things like that out here, this is a guy I was high up on last year. This was a guy I was very high on last year. I think he's a very impactful fighter. He's a complete fighter, one of the most complete fighters in boxing today. Gave Robeisy Ramirez a very tough fight. And I would have liked to seen that style and that size and length and power against a guy like Inoue. But from what I've seen, even when they kind of foreshadowed things with Bruce Carrington, Shushu Carrington, that they were leaning more so towards Shushu Carrington in the future, being at 126 by the time that Inoue gets there, more so than Robeisy Ramirez or Espinoza. And Ramirez didn't have a belt recently, so it wasn't a reason for Inoue to kind of be looking towards fighting him at this point right now. But Espinoza is definitely going to be leaving that weight class. I'm not going to say he's too big. The guy is 6'1". It's just that the age and everything is starting to kick in, and it's getting harder to make the weight. He's been in the weight class for a very long time. I thought they would try to expedite things a little faster, try to get everybody on the same track. That is not happening. And looks like Robeisy Ramirez will be the last person to fight Rafael Espinoza at featherweight. That's very bad news for future matchups with Nayan anyway. So that's another big-time fighter at featherweight that will not be matching up with him. Very bad news, but I already knew that. It's kind of old news, but it's most likely going to happen. Especially with boxing scenes starting to report it now, so makes sense. That's something I tried to foreshadow and tell people over the last couple of months about anyway, but I don't know if people are more so interested in knowing about the plans or the aspirations of a guy like Inoue more so than talking about his accomplishments. I don't think people are more so interested in plans of what people are actually going to do. But we'll see. It's more so about the past these days than the future.